Welcome to What's in the Details. My name is Damian Waith, and please do remember to hit the like button, subscribe button, hit any of the buttons, comment, share with a friend. This week, we have a guest. My boy Kevin has returned for his second appearance, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I'll say off the top, for the video listeners / watchers, we had some technical difficulties with the video, so it's basically audio for everybody today, but we had some fun. It is worth a listen. In fact, I should say off the top, spoilers. There's a lot of spoilers, okay? So we dug into Power, Book 2, Ghost. We dug into some of Umbrella Academy. We went in on WandaVision, and we went in on The Batman. Okay, so we covered a range of shows and movies, and there are spoilers on all of them. So if you haven't seen some of those things, you'll hear when we bring up the show or movie. Skip ahead if you don't want anything to be spoiled. Okay, you've been told. All right, but it was a lot of fun. I'll say this. He had some things to say the first time we talked about Mary J. Blige's acting, and if you paid attention to that rundown, we got Umbrella Academy and Power, okay? 2 Mary J. Blige vehicles. So you know what's coming there. Either he's gonna love Mary J. in season 2 of Power and Umbrella Academy, or maybe the other thing. Also, specifically jumping ahead to the Batman. I am a big time Christian Bale trilogy Batman person. I enjoyed them all. I've watched all of them multiple times. Not the first one as many times, but the other 2, a bunch of times I've watched the other 2. This new Batman, maybe it's the first of the trilogy thing that I can't really get on board with. I was fine with it. I'm gonna watch it again, maybe a couple times, right? But I wasn't as jazzed about it as I hear so many people are. That said, talking to Kevin about the Batman has gotten me very excited for the rest of the trilogy, okay? So if you're like me and you weren't that pumped for the first one, listen to this, watch this podcast, and let Kevin get you excited for the 2 that are coming, because I'm feeling that way about the other 2. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to have the time to sit down and do this with him. I'm so appreciative of his time. And again, having my friends on, having these people on the show, I find that every single time I do it, someone's teaching me something. Someone's expanding my thoughts and horizons on these topics and discussions around these stories that we spend our time watching and being entertained by. So that's enough of me rambling. Here you go, me and Kevin, once again.
Yeah.
But there's some stuff I wanted to talk to you with Power. Like one, Mary J. Blige's acting, dog. Season 2. Yeah. I think she's better. Where are you?
Better. There's one scene. There is one scene where she actually hit it, where she was with what's her ex-boyfriend? What's the guy's name? The villain.
Dante.
Yeah, with Mecca. Yeah. When she finds out about what was it? Something was exposed to him or whatnot. Her acting there was good.
Yeah.
And a couple scenes with Kane was good. But other than that, no, I still make fun of it.
Nothing. You that's it. Mm-hmm. 2 or 3 scenes. That's it.
She's too bland, man. She's too bland. She doesn't have a range. So yeah.
At least in this character.
But the thing is, you haven't watched the other one, right? The one with 50 Cent's characters when he was.
You talking about
younger.
BMF? Oh, Raising Kanan.
No, Raising Kanan. Yeah, the mom in Raising Kanan can act.
Yes.
And I feel like if they casted her to Mary J. Blige's role, she would have killed it.
So why do you think, we're just going to hypothesize, why do you think those two got those 2 roles? Do you think that they gave Mary J. Blige this role because this was the bigger of the shows?
I feel like because the Raising Kanan's about 50s characters, so 50's like, yo, forget that. I'm taking the better actress as my mom.
So it had nothing to do with name recognition. You're like,
yeah, for sure, it's name recognition, right? Like, what Book of Ghosts is the first spin-off, so they had to put like Mary J. Blige, Method Man, like those big actors in that show, right? But
yeah,
I always have my own theories about things, so
of course,
I'm gonna stick to that. Yeah.
But you think Ghost would have been a better show if they casted that other actress from Raising Kanan as the mom?
Yeah, and they also got to get rid of those. It feels like a different world, those school montages where every day they have like a different lesson to learn, and then they speak their theory. They need to get rid of that. I don't like that.
Oh, and Raising Kanan?
No, Raising Kanan, the one on Book of Ghost. Every episode they have that classroom scene where they're talking about,
oh yes,
no, that's not cool. I don't like that. It reminds me, it's like they're trying too hard to be in that school setting. They don't need to do that.
So you're ready for them to be done with the setting of the school, like having them in the dorms and all of that stuff on campus.
That's fine.
You're
that's
cool
fine.
with all that stuff.
Yeah.
You're like, cut the classroom stuff.
Yeah, the classroom lectures, like every day it's the same theory, but with different words.
Right. It's like, hey, Tariq, how do you manipulate everybody without without people finding out? And is that morally justifiable? And
yeah, exactly.
Like, well, we got to do what we got to do when you're in these streets. You haven't been in this person's shoes. You haven't been in that person's shoes.
And then the next episode is it morally justifiable to manipulate people to reach your ends? Like, same thing, right? Different. Every episode's the same thing, man.
I hadn't thought about it like that while watching it, but that's interesting to think about. Well, I don't think you're gonna have that problem come season 3, because
he's out of school.
And major spoilers.
Yeah.
I'm sure I said this off the top, but major spoilers coming. One, he's out of school, but 2, they murdered the teacher.
Exactly. I think season 3 he's gonna be like in the corporate world, right? Because
okay,
other dude, his boy, what's it, Bryson?
Braden. Yeah, sorry. Well, Braden got kicked out of school, and he's going to be working for his dad's hedge fund, right? So wait, this is what you think, or do you already know?
No, that's what happened. What happened. Yeah. You don't remember that? He's going to be. So yeah.
Yes, I do.
He's going to be working for the hedge fund, so it's going to be in the world of business. I think, kind of like what Ghost he's going to learn from Ghost, or what his dad was doing in the business world. So hopefully, there's more of that, less of the classroom stuff.
They murdered a lot of people from this world. A lot of people disappeared from this world in those like last few episodes.
Yeah, sorry, just thinking about Zeke.
We could get into Zeke right now.
Yeah.
It's been some time since this happened, so not all of the stuff is fresh on my mind. Probably not on yours, but Zeke was one of the dumbest people on TV already, right?
Yeah.
And then they dropped the news of Monet not being Zeke's aunt, but being his mom.
Yeah. And he's 4 years older. He was in kindergarten. He was 8 years old.
This is an interesting thing to think about too, because my mind, when that happened, my mind immediately jumped to he's like 25 years old in university, messing with 17 and 18-year-old girls.
Exactly.
Right? So that's gross. But when did it start? Like, what was he in grade 10? Was he in grade 4? Was he in kindergarten? Like, was he actually 8 years old around 4-year-olds?
Believing he was 4 years old. Yeah. I don't know how that works.
There's no way.
So the first, and I swear, I think 50 Cent did that on purpose, because he did it for the memes, right? Because as soon as I saw that, I went straight to Instagram and I like hashtag Zeke or hashtag Power.
Yeah.
Power Book of Ghost, and it was all memes about Zeke being in kindergarten at 8 years old. So I think he did that on purpose.
Well, hold on. So first of all, I've been shouting out 50 a lot for all of Power stuff, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He's not even the creator, man. Did you know he's not the creator?
I didn't know.
He's not the creator. A woman named Courtney A. Kemp.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about. Because she
Yes.
does the after, they have like an after show where she talks about the different scenes and what it means and all that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought he was okay. So he's just
Me
putting
too.
his money behind it.
I don't know what it is. I'm not sure how he's involved. Like, obviously he's heavily involved, right?
Yeah.
But I, just like you, I've been shouting out 50 all this time, and it's this lady named Courtney A. Kemp. So we got to give her flowers and her shout outs right now.
Oh, for sure.
But 100%, that seems like a 50 move. Like, if they were planning on doing something else with Zeke, having him be like 5 years older than he actually thought he was.
They should do a prequel with Zeke in middle school. He's like 6'10", full beard, grade 7.
That's the thing, because like when you say Zeke had to be 8 in kindergarten, I'm like, he's too big. That kid would have been too big. He would have been the largest 4-year-old ever.
Yeah, 6 foot 4-year-old. He's dunking in kindergarten. They have him on the public school team.
Just windmill slamming on everybody. Like, Zeke, how come you can touch the rim already? I'm 12.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous, man.
But this show, the drama, like there's so much drama in this show. The entanglements are ridiculous. I'm gonna read out some of the entanglements and let me know if any of them really pique your interest. Okay.
All right. Cool.
We got Zeke, Rashad, and Carrie.
Okay.
Right.
Who's Carrie again?
Carrie dad. Carrie the professor.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Okay. And the other. Okay.
And the politician.
Politician.
Zeke,
yeah.
Right?
Snake. Yeah.
Then we got Zeke and Tariq. Zeke hooked Tariq up with his family. That stuff's gone wild, obviously. Yeah. Mecca, Monet, Lorenzo.
Yeah. We all know Monet has a type. Yeah.
That was dog. What did you think when Mecca showed up on our screens?
Yeah, it's just like she has a type. Light skin,
bald,
Latino
beard, Latino.
Yeah, exactly. But how I guess they have Monet's genes, but those kids don't look like none of the dads.
What are you trying to say, Ricketts? What are you trying to say?
What's his name? The lawyer's the father, the real father. It's gonna be a twist. Method, that's the father.
Are you saying we need Maury Povich in the Power universe to come solve some of these questions?
I think so. I don't get like the daughter, maybe, but I don't get how Kane is his son. What's his name? Son. Lorenzo's son. Yeah.
You're thinking he's got to be somebody else's because he's not Mecca's either.
Someone else's. But
it is interesting when you say that, because they clearly were looking for two men that looked like each other so much and hired these two dads, right? And then they let all the kids just be dark like Monet.
All of them. You're thinking the daughter should have been that other girl. What's the other girl that? Yeah, Effie. That would look more like it, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Ricketts is recasting the whole show. You just physically, I think you're right. Effie would be way more believable.
Oh, for sure. As a daughter, she's a little bit. Her skin's a little lighter.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I don't get Kane's darker than Mary J. Blige, so I don't get how Lorenzo's his father.
But I'll say this: whether or not physically he fits in, Kane killed season 2.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
I don't like his character.
You don't like his character?
I don't like Kane's character, and I think, but that's what makes him, to me, that's what makes him a good character, just for the fact that he gets me hating him, because he's that guy that will do anything to survive, right? He'll jump sides, he'll stab this person in the back, that person in the back, just so that he can get up that ladder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't like him, but you need every good show has a character like him.
Yeah. He's a survivor for sure. But what about the acting? How are you feeling about his acting?
Oh, really good.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody in that show, except for Tariq and Mary J. Blige.
Whoa.
Tariq is good.
Yeah.
Tariq is good, but he's just not on the level of some of the other characters.
Really?
That's what I think.
I did not expect this.
That's what I think.
So wait, so you're just not connecting to Tariq? Or he's not connecting to you, I guess.
No, I think he's good. Like, he's all right, but when you put him beside other people, I don't think he's a better actor than some of the other people on the show. I think Method Man is doing good because he's playing a role that he would not. All the other shows, you see him on The Wire, or other shows, he's that drug dealer, gangster type of dude. And now they have him as a lawyer, and I think he's killing it.
Yeah, I'm with you for sure.
Method, I think he's killing it. Yeah,
Method has been very impressive. I don't know. I've watched The Wire. I didn't notice he was in The Wire, but I have to rewatch.
Yeah, later seasons.
Yeah, but he definitely has been stunning. Like really strong in every scene. Do you so character wise with Tariq, you feel I'm putting words in your mouth. You feel that they've given his character enough room for growth. Like the character is definitely growing. But you don't think his, like Michael Rainey's acting is living up to everybody else that's surrounding him.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's
interesting.
They need to get Tariq a car. Have you noticed this guy's walking everywhere?
I don't know how they have not addressed this.
Yeah.
Like why are they forcing us to believe that this young man can't get a car?
Yeah, I don't. He has money, so it's not like he doesn't have money.
Yeah, that's the strangest thing of the whole show is why is Tariq always on foot? Why he could at least have a scooter. He doesn't even need,
Maybe he does. They just don't want to show it.
An e-bike, like get this man a bike with some motor. That is so strange.
Just at least get the guy like a Honda Civic or something, man. Like,
and you have no theories. You have no theories as to why they've left him without wheels.
It's Uber. That's my theory.
Does he even
Ubers
Uber?
Everywhere?
I don't think he Ubers.
Then he has some sort of powers or something. Those guys in all parts of New York by foot.
Imagine they did a crossover where the people from Power actually get powers.
Yeah, I know. That would be funny.
Tariq is first.
Exactly.
Tariq can fly.
Like, that explains it.
Yeah. The other big thing that happened that I want to talk to you about is the letter. So Tariq gets locked up. And the lawyer gives him a letter from his dad. Mm-hmm. And do you remember what the letter said?
I knew you were gonna get here or something.
I knew you'd end up here, little nigga.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I think there's more to that letter though.
That's what I've seen that on the internet. Yeah.
They'd be smart. If they were smart, they'd put more to that letter than that.
The truly interesting thing about that is he wrote that letter, obviously, before he died, right? Like the reasons he would have to say that to his son when his son ends up in jail are they're not large enough reasons for him to write that letter to his son.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's not, I feel, what do they call those things? MacGuffins or something? It's just like something they just added to keep the plot moving.
Yeah, I can see
it wasn't like they didn't plan it before the season or when they were writing it. This came to a writer's block. They're like, oh, you know what? Let's give him a mysterious letter from his dad. Mm-hmm. Like his dad always knew that he was going to die and his son was going to end up in jail. And he's going to give him a step-by-step plan of how to take over New York drug dealing. Like, I think it's just a plot device. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And Diana. How do you feel about Diana? How do you feel about Monet and Diana's relationship? And the reason I ask is Monet cusses everybody out. nonstop cussing. She's upset at everybody. It doesn't matter what kind of help you can bring. Doesn't matter what she's asked you to do. She's upset with you, right? But she's not upset with anybody like she's upset with Diana.
Upset with Diana. I don't know. Maybe it's just that female thing. Like she sees her daughter's closer to her father, right? She doesn't get along with the father. That's all. There's some sort of jealousy going on there.
True.
But I don't know. I don't know about Diana either. She was the one that brought, like, it's her fault Zeke died. It's her fault, like, everything happened just from that one dinner of exposing everything. So of course Monet is going to get mad at her, but at the same time, what's she supposed to do?
Yeah. My thoughts on it, and now it sounds like I'm talking about real people, but my thoughts on it are like Monet sees Diana and sees herself. Like Diana is Monet. Like if we had a prequel of Monet, it'd just be
Diana. Yeah. Gonna get the same actress and everything. Yeah.
Exactly. Smart.
Both of her parents are light skinned in this. Might as well, right?
Yeah, may as well. So go ahead.
Born to two white parents.
They're like, hey, we did basically the same thing in the show anyway. What's the big deal?
Exactly. Use your imagination, folks.
Is she adopted? No, she's not adopted.
Biological.
Yeah. These are biological white parents. Yeah. But smart as ever, hustling, disturbing the peace, finding some man or some boy's house to lay at, like just all the stuff Monet saw herself doing. And now she's pissed at Diana all the time. It's so hilarious.
I don't know about her, man. I don't know about her. The best young girl in that show is, what's her name? Effie.
Yeah. But even Effie, how do you feel about Effie offing Lauren, man?
I don't think she offed her.
What do you think happened to Lauren?
I think shoot. Give me a second.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think she might have just said, here, take this money and run. I don't know. Maybe.
No, okay. So hold on. So
there's a little hope inside that she didn't, knowing what she meant to Tariq.
Okay, but you remember they found they said Lauren's dead.
Yeah.
Right.
She told Reek that Lauren's dead, right?
I think Sax did.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
never mind.
Sax did. Like
Lauren.
Okay.
So I forgot about that. Okay, so she's dead then.
Well, hold on a second. We have not seen Lauren's body.
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, in TV land and in movies,
if you don't see the body,
if they don't show us the body, we don't know this person's dead.
Exactly.
Right? So we have not seen Lauren's body. People have told other people Lauren is dead. And Effie was making moves on Brayden and Lauren when Brayden was trying to get Lauren out of town.
Yeah.
At Tariq's request.
Yeah.
We don't know if Effie went through with it, but it seems like Effie went through with it. I don't remember seeing them murder Lauren.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think Effie of all the young ladies, I think Effie's character is the most interesting.
For sure, because there's going to be something, because you don't know where she's from, right? So
yeah,
sometime like season 3, there's going to be a bomb that's going to be exposed that she has some sort of connect, because you don't know who her connect was originally.
Yeah.
Right. So there's going to be something up with that for sure, because she just can't be random out of nowhere drug dealer, right?
Yeah. She just showed up out of nowhere. So we find like Mecca shows up out of nowhere. He's an enormous snitch.
Yeah. At one point, I thought that maybe she was Mecca's daughter.
Damn. So hold on a second. And this is very interesting to me because you have. This sounds like I'm like underselling you, but you have this conspiratorial, like imaginative mind, right? And it makes me wonder what goes through your head when you're watching shows, because one person, like I kind of take it for what they're giving us. I'll think out a little piece here and there. But when you're watching it, are you imagining all of these like spider webs of directions that these people's characters can go in?
Yeah, because I question, you know me, because I question everything, right?
Yeah.
So I'm always thinking, okay, what if this? What if that? Would it be better? Like, what would make the show better?
Right.
If this was a twist or whatnot. So I question everything. So I'm always like, okay, what direction could this show go? Right? Instead of just sitting there and watching, like, I'm just like, okay, this guy, he's light skinned, but then it's power, right? So I don't know about that, the skin thing. But what if Effie was Mecca's daughter? What, right? I obviously now that's not the case, because we found out that Mecca is what worked for that dude that Ghost and Tommy killed in worked for that drug dealer. What's his name? The Mexican guy, the cartel dude.
Man, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made fun of him the first time we talked about
he was a CI, like a confidential informant.
Yeah.
The guy he's super sassy. It turned out that he worked for him, so obviously that wouldn't be the link. But when he first came onto the show, I was like, that has to be Effie's dad, because I was always questioning, where's Effie from? Right? So I don't know. These things just go on in my head, man. I'm always questioning everything. So
yeah. How often do you have these thoughts about shows, and then in a later season it pays off? It must pay off sometimes. There's no way you're wrong every single time. Do you know?
No, I'm not wrong every single time. I'm not. I know. I'm trying to think, where has it paid off? Where like, I don't know. Like, these shows I can't really predict, but like those cheesy movies.
Yes.
Right. You know, like those love movies. Okay, something's gonna happen. She's gonna get mad at him, and then something that happened and come back together at the end and kiss. Like every movie's like that, right? Yeah. But these shows, I can't think of where I was right when it happened. But I feel like if it listened to my thoughts, it would have been a better show.
you and everybody else watching.
Yeah, exactly.
They should have made blah 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 happen, and then this and this and this would have been better.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So we're gonna switch topics a little bit, but staying with a person. We're staying with Mary J. Blige.
Okay. Umbrella Academy.
But we're going to Umbrella Academy.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Now, you said Mary J. Blige lacks range for you as Monet Tejada.
Yeah.
How do you feel about her as Cha-Cha?
Oh, I actually thought she was good in that, because that matches her character. You're supposed, when you're an assassin or whatever, a killer, you're supposed to be emotionless. So her acting, no offense, is emotionless. So she kind of fits into that. She fits into that mold perfectly. I thought she was good. Yeah, that's why I was surprised in Power when I wasn't feeling it at all yet.
Right, and I went the opposite way. So I watched Power first, and
what do you like better?
Her, in terms of her acting.
Yeah.
By far, it's Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not close.
Exactly.
Like the problem for me is watching her on Umbrella Academy. It makes Power more painful.
Yeah. So now you know how I felt.
Yeah.
Because I watched Umbrella Academy first, right? So
pain, man, because she's killing it in Umbrella Academy. Like real strong, and like I think it's like you said, like she's an assassin, so emotionless is the right thing. But it's like, it's so painful because her, especially with her and Hazel, like her and her partner are perfect together.
Yeah.
And then when they're interacting with characters outside of them, like the action scenes that she's in, like I'm assuming she's definitely not doing all of the fighting when she's doing the fighting.
No, for sure.
But she's doing some of it.
Yeah.
And she looks good doing that too, right?
Yeah, but you know what it could be too, to be honest, the ensemble of Umbrella Academy, they're like, those people are like those are actors right there, all of them. Compared to the ensemble in Power, which no offense, I love Power,
Yeah.
but I don't think their actors are as good as like actors in Umbrella Academy or whatnot. So it could just be they could be bringing her up.
True.
Right. Whereas it's more identifiable in Power because everybody's at like the highest actors maybe about at like 7. Right. Whereas
Really?
Umbrella Academy, that's what I think. Like Umbrella Academy, the actors, like that kid that plays number 5?
Yes.
The one that that kid killed it. Like
Yes. He's on another level.
Because he's supposed to be a 60-year-old man, right?
Yeah.
In a 13-year-old's body. And he's doing it to the T.
Yeah.
Right. And all the other Ellen Page, she's certified, like, you know what I mean? Everybody down to the monkey. Like they're all good. Yeah, they're all good actors. So I think it's different.
Okay, so you brought up Ellen, now Elliot.
Yeah.
Now Elliot. And once Vanya, about to be Victor.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing. Yeah.
Right? And if you listen to this show, you know how I feel about all the LGBT people. I love everybody, right?
Representation is good in the show.
Exactly. 100%. When the Elliot news happened, I was not watching Umbrella Academy yet, and then I started, and I thought, what are they going to do with Vanya? Are they? Is this going to be like a hair and makeup situation where they're going to keep Vanya? Because Elliot has 8-pack now. Elliot, I think I saw some facial hair on the last post. Like Elliot is Elliot.
But, you saw season 2 though, right?
Yes.
So they moved it in the right direction for her, right? Because season 2, like in the comic books, her character is not lesbian. Like in the comic book, she has like romance with what number is the guy that throws knives again? I forgot. Number 2. Yeah. I think he's number 2.
Diego.
Yeah, her and Diego have a little romance in the comics, but now
really
the way they
okay.
So, but the way they switched it up in the show to make her have like her lesbian romance and all that, it's perfect because it's moving her in the direction, right? It's moving her in that direction to kind of have Elliot Page, like, and it won't be too off if season 3 now she's kind of more like, how can you say, like masculine or whatnot, right? Because she was moving in that direction in season 2. So
that's so interesting. So you're thinking there's a possibility that Victor is going to be with that lady from the farm?
Season 3?
Yeah.
No, but she was with the lady in the farm in season 2. They had their little affair, but season 3, they go back to the future in season 3, but they're going to let Vanya become more Victor, right? Like just because she had that lesbian romance in season 2, so now it won't throw the people that are watching totally off if she starts transitioning to become a male.
Do you think she's going to transition on the show?
I don't think she will, but if she did, it wouldn't throw me off because it's like, oh, okay, well, she was falling in love with a woman in the second season. So.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I feel like you don't have the news. Okay.
Oh no, I don't know what's the news.
When I say Vanya becomes Victor,
yeah,
I'm not saying like you and I are just talking on the street and like, what are they going to do with Vanya? That's going to be Victor. I'm saying they've said the character's going to be Victor.
Okay, so well, there you go. I'm not that surprised, right?
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So she's gonna then obviously she's transitioning on the show there.
Well, we don't know what it's going to be on the show, right? Part of me thinks like I'm so curious what they're gonna do, because part of me thinks like, is it just gonna be Victor now? Like, are they gonna address it? Are they gonna actually have this person with superpowers on a TV show transition? Like, that's gonna be strange.
Yeah, but I think it will be. Yeah, it will be huge for those fans that are watching the show, because out there's somebody that's doing that, right? So they can relate. There's another character that can relate, which that's one of the things that makes the show so good, is the fact that the characters, it's such a broad range of characters, right? You know what I mean? Like every character has their own kind of their own, what do you call it, growth, and it's completely different from the others.
Yeah.
So
they're all fighting something internally.
Yeah, exactly. And you have race, genders, all like, sexual preference, all represented there on the show as well. That's true. I think that's
because we have Klaus.
Exactly.
Klaus and his man from the 1950s or whatever that war. I think it was, I guess, the 40s. Depending on the war they were in. But you got Klaus.
Then you even got the one without the voice. What's her name? I forgot her name again. Voice was taken. Going through the whole civil rights thing, right?
Yes.
So that's a big thing as well.
Yeah.
And then I feel they used just number 5 as the guy that they used to kind of tie all the stories together. Like that's the reason why he's on the show.
Yeah. So do you think, is this show, did you watch Prison Break?
No, I haven't watched it.
You didn't watch Prison Break. Me neither. No. But Prison Break for me was one of these shows I refused to watch because once you break out of prison, what we still doing this for?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And then you're gonna go back to prison. Okay, so now everybody's back in prison. So now we break out again. Okay, so so we're just gonna keep doing this. We're just gonna keep right.
And weren't they in a prison somewhere outside of the States at one point?
Probably, right.
It was like a world tour of just getting arrested and breaking out of prison, right?
Right. Sounds ridiculous. It sounds like a ridiculous way to spend your time.
Yeah, but meanwhile, the real Prison Break fans are going to be watching like, that's not what it is.
Right, of course. And I'm simplifying it, right?
I don't watch it, so whatever.
But now I ask you, is Umbrella Academy not just Prison Break, but cooler? Because
why? Because it's the same.
Yeah. Are they is season 3 just going to be them going back to another time period, maybe the future, maybe the present, whatever it is, stopping the world from destruction that they've caused by showing up in that timeline?
No, but you saw the end of it, right? So
refresh my memory.
Okay, so at the end of season 2, when they went back, they did things. They set off a butterfly effect or whatever. So when they went back to the future, they went back to their home. Their home, everything's there, but he has a new set of students, right? So because they met with him before, he never discovered them as kids. He discovered a new set of 7, except for the only one that was similar was the I forget his number, the Asian guy that was dead. Ben, So he's a part of this new academy and they're not a part of it. So they changed the future. So I think season 3 might just be a whole, maybe we got to go back in the past to change the past, to change the future. Or there's this other academy out there. Do we have to fight with them? Do we have to get, you know what I mean? Do we have to tell Ben, hey, Ben, this is not the right future? That type of thing. So we'll see. It might all just come to be in another apocalypse, right? Yeah.
And this is no hate from me. Like I'm down to watch it. Season 1 was difficult. Like for me, getting through the first 3, 4, even 5 episodes of season 1 was like really painful. But everybody kept telling me how good the show was.
It's good, yeah.
And I enjoy it. I'm just wondering if we're just going to watch the people travel around trying to stop destruction that they caused.
But that's the trend now. Everything is like multiverse, different dimensions, time traveling, butterfly effects, changing this. Like everywhere you go, that's what's happening in movies now. So it's just kind of fitting in.
Well, that, and also you're gonna die. So let us put your brain in these computers.
Yeah, very true.
Right? Every movie now, you're about to die, and we're gonna put your brain in this computer so your loved ones can still talk to you and still have your thoughts and memories. Like those are the major things that are happening right now.
It's preparing us for when Elon Musk takes over the world, man.
Right. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. Do we love the donut lady?
The donut lady.
Remember the donut lady that Hazel falls in love with in season 2? Season 2. No, season one, I think.
Oh, the old
season
lady.
One.
Oh,
yeah.
the old lady. Yeah, yo,
The
she's
old
cute. I
donut
like.
lady.
Yeah, that's cute. That was
right?
cute. Yeah, yeah.
She was just such a sweet lady, and then to have
Mm-hmm.
the two of them fall in love, I thought was just an interesting touch.
Mm-hmm. I liked it. It was cute. Hazel didn't last long in season 2. Spoiler. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they'll know. They know it's spoiler time.
Yeah.
What's up with Diego, man?
Diego has so much angst in him. Don't you feel? I think his whole thing is just he has that rivalry with number one because he feels like he should be number one or whatnot.
Right.
So that's all built up. That's all. That's what I think. That's his character, man. He's just an angsty dude.
Yeah. He is so maddening. Like he thinks he's number one. Everybody knows he's not number one. He can do some cool stuff.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. I like his powers, but
yeah, but he's so simple. Like he's so simple-minded. And even in like the middle of season 2, a character in the show says, "What's wrong with Diego?" And number 5 says he's a simpleton.
Yeah, exactly. But you again, like on the ensemble of characters, you need that hard-headed guy that's gonna get everybody into trouble, right? That's Diego. Do you
need that character?
In an ideal world, in a Euphoria, you don't, or whatever you call it. But for like in the show to move the plot, you need it. You need that. Like he's like the Kane in Power, right? Like you need that guy. Like that's just an idiot.
So I'm jumping ahead a little bit. But this kind of takes me right into WandaVision because I wanted to talk to you about WandaVision too. So in WandaVision, we'll get into some WandaVision stuff, but this segue specifically, Director Hayward, the boss man at SWORD.
Oh, right? Yeah.
He's another one of those dudes where it's my way or the highway.
The highway.
I'm the smartest one here. You don't have the information I have, so we're doing this stuff my way and all of this shit. And I'm like, that character that brings this nonsensical friction where it's just they're just fighting against the rest of the people for some reason. I'm like, you can't drive a storyline without those dudes or ladies. Sometimes they're ladies too.
Yeah, but he's different. He was done on purpose, so then you'll know, oh, he's going to be the villain behind everything by the end of it. Or whatnot, that's what he was. That was one of the ones that I could predict from the beginning. Like,
yes.
Okay, this is the conspiracy. He's running SWORD, but he's going to be the guy, the villain or whatnot. Right? So.
But if you stop and think about it, both of them, both Diego, Director Hayward, there's a lot of dudes and characters like that. If that person wasn't there, or if that person just said, "Cool, whatever you want to do, let's do that," right? Or even if they fight and then they go, "Okay, let's do it your way," right?
Yeah.
Do we just lose episodes of shows? Do we just lose?
That's what I was just gonna say. Then the show's done in like the 3rd episode because they're like, "Okay, cool, let's do it this way." But I apologize. What's her name? Wanda, I apologize for all that stuff that I did to you.
But that's the thing, is like, I guess he was plotting, Director Hayward was plotting a new vision. He was bringing a new vision into play and all of that stuff, I guess. But the new vision doesn't show up until the end of the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the series, he's a dude that's going along with stuff. Like he put, what's her name? Geraldine. He put her on site to go into the Hex and talk to Wanda and all that stuff, right? Yeah. So it's like he's not really pushing against it until like the middle of the season.
The director, right? Yeah, but that's because once he sees his power dwindling, you get what I'm saying? That's when he makes that asshole move, right?
Right.
It's like society right now. Some people think that their power is dwindling, so they turn into assholes. If you catch my drift, so. It's the exact same thing, right?
Yeah, I hear you now. I hear you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. How much did you love WandaVision?
Oh man. Oh, it's good. It's just the thing I love about Marvel is everything is not a superhero movie, a superhero show. They do different genres within their shows. So
Yeah,
WandaVision is not the same as Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's not the same as Hawkeye. It's not the same as Loki, right? So the thing is with WandaVision, the way that they pulled off that whole show within a show thing
yeah,
and made it make sense,
yeah.
I think that was like I've never seen anything like it.
Right.
Like those couple what those 2 3 black and white episodes, and then you
Yep.
find out, oh, it's a show coming from her mind, from her powers or whatever that she can't control. Like that whole thing was genius. Like I've never seen a show like that in my life.
Yeah. It's wild. It's kind of like a sketch comedy, like
Yeah.
drama, like where
Mhm.
we're gonna shoot all of these different skits, but we're gonna intertwine a through line of a story through all of them.
Yeah.
And it was done like I can't imagine how well that was done. Like I think I messaged
Yep.
you as soon as I finished watching it, and I was like, "Yo, they went through the 50s,
Mm-hmm.
60s, 70s, 80s. Then they even hit us with like a Modern Family style episode where
Mm-hmm.
they're
Mm-hmm.
talking, Wanda's talking directly to camera, even Vision's talking to camera.
Yep. Yep.
It was amazing. Um,
But then, and just to make that all make sense in the bigger plot, again,
yeah,
like that's just amazing. Whoever wrote that was like on point with it.
like what Marvel is doing is really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
just like really like makes you stop and just even if you're not a comic book person,
Yeah.
it really like it gives you pause. You're like you need to maybe sit down and watch some of this stuff. Um,
Yeah.
Catherine Hahn, who plays I think it's
Oh
Agatha or
yeah. Yeah.
Agnes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Agatha. Yeah.
between her and the mom from that 70s show in those
Oh
beginning
yeah. I
like
love
black
them.
and white
Yeah.
episodes,
Mm-hmm.
so perfect.
Exactly.
Perfect
Exactly.
casting.
So good. So good.
Um, are there any Marvel projects that are coming up that you're like excited for?
So if you watched WandaVision, you have to watch Doctor Strange. It's coming out like next week or something.
Right.
Multiverse of Madness, because that goes right into WandaVision. And maybe if you watched, I don't know, like What If? It's a cartoon, but it's
I've
kind
heard
of
about
linked
that.
to it
Yeah.
as well. Everything is actually it's pretty smart because everything's linked. So even Loki, have you seen Loki?
No, not yet.
Okay, you gotta watch Loki because there's a part of it that just like blows your mind
Mm.
and it explains why everything kind of branches off into different timelines and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I would recommend watching Loki, watching you don't really have to watch What If. Cartoon's not for everybody. But then watching the Doctor Strange, because that is linked to the WandaVision. The thing is with WandaVision is I heard that Doctor Strange was supposed to cameo in it,
Mm-hmm.
but and I don't know if you real like do you feel that the end of the show feel rushed to you? Like that last episode, did it feel rushed?
I knew we were on episode 10, so I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is probably over.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Mm-hmm.
was surprised that that's like kind of how it ended.
Yeah, because from what I hear, the ending was supposed to be a lot more complex.
Mm-hmm.
But because COVID hit, they kind of rushed the production and all of that stuff for
Yeah.
the end of the show. Like I heard Doctor Strange was supposed to be in it and whatever, and it would have linked better to the Multiverse of Madness, but because they had to rush the ending, or I think they might have edited it out or something like that, they didn't. But I'll say again, I'll recommend that to watch the Doctor Strange because it's basically almost a direct tie-in
Mm-hmm.
to that. Yeah.
Are there any Marvel products you don't watch? Do you watch all of them?
I've watched all of the main. So there's different ones, right? So there's the Marvel movies and the stuff that's on Disney Plus. That's all Kevin Feige Marvel stuff. and there was before it stopped. They stopped it now, like the Marvel Television, which was a different division. So like I haven't watched. There's a show called The Runaways. I haven't watched that show. I used to watch Agents of Shield, but I stopped. Um, that was on ABC. And I think that's about it. All the other Marvel stuff I watched.
So I know it's your family. Your family loves Marvel stuff. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
and
yeah.
your cut, everybody's into it.
Yeah.
Me, it's my friends that are all into it heavy. Like I watch a lot of the big ones,
Hmm.
like the big movies, the big shows. But
Hmm.
like you mentioned Doctor Strange earlier. I did not watch any of the Doctor Strange movies. I don't have any
Sure.
desire to watch that man. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Oh, you're not a Benedict Cumberbatch
I like
fan?
him. I like him, but
Oh,
I don't
all the
care.
girls like him, man.
Yes,
I
and
don't know
as they
why, but
should.
yeah, yeah,
He's a very handsome man. He's a
yeah.
very good actor.
Him, and they also like Loki, the
Yes,
actor that plays Loki. I guess is a
yes,
British thing or
yes. Those guys in real life, are very handsome, and then they
something.
got the accents too, right? So they bring people in. But and like Spider-Man, I can't get. I can't get
Yeah,
it. And so then Marvel becomes this thing for me that is so
mhm.
different from you,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I get like this a la carte version of Marvel where I go get the
You're
specific
just
things I
getting
like.
piecemeal. Yeah.
Yes. So the tie that you have to it, where you're like, oh, I see how everything folds together and everything
Yeah.
makes perfect. And I understand why they did this from this movie 3 movies later and
Yeah,
shows
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
right? So I'm like, are, I wonder about you allowing yourself to not watch some of them.
Hmm.
And then I guess maybe you lose some of the tie-in from show to show or movie to
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. Well, the thing is, the shows aren't the older shows, except like, well, now because they have the Disney Plus deal or whatever with like WandaVision, all that, that's tied into the movies. The older shows, like the ones that were on Netflix, the ones that were on like ABC or whatever those
Yeah.
channels were, those weren't necessarily tied in
No.
to everything. Agents of Shield at the beginning a little bit, but it went its own route. So like that wasn't tied in as much. So that's probably why I never watched them either, right?
Right.
But just the thing that brings you in, and I think I would recommend that you watch it. Like I know not all the movies, like Spider Man is like more of like a teeny bopper, maybe for that type of crowd.
Yeah.
But I would recommend it because you could see like I've never seen, and I don't think anybody's ever seen like all these movies, different movies, whatever, all tied in together.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what it's all one big story.
Yeah.
Like, especially everything leading up to that last the Avengers Endgame
Mm-hmm.
was all one big story, and
Yeah.
that's what gets you addicted.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like the Apple of the entertainment industry.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
you're gonna need all of this stuff. I know some other companies are making stuff you like, but
Hmm.
you need iPad, MacBook, iPhone. You got to have all it linked together, or else
Yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't
That's so
work.
true. That's so
Right?
true. Yeah. But can I make a recommendation for you
Of course,
to
man.
start watching now? And it's not you don't have to watch the whole greater Marvel universe. It's a new one, Moon Knight.
I've heard about it. I think I heard you guys talking about it too.
Mhm. The
That's
thing
with
is,
Oscar Isaac, right?
yeah, and I know you're a fan of good acting.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac plays a superhero who has multiple personalities. So
Jeez.
flipping from one guy to
Yes.
another dude, you would appreciate it. Like this guy puts on like an acting clinic, I would
Yeah.
say, because the personalities are so different.
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend that.
That's Disney
Definitely,
Plus, right?
yeah, Disney Plus.
Okay. Yeah. I watch almost anything Oscar Isaac does. He's on another level.
Mhm. And it's not linked. Like there's nothing really in there. Like a couple Easter eggs here and there, um, but there's nothing that's linked to like you have to watch all of the other Marvel stuff or WandaVision or Falcon and Winter Soldier or whatever to watch
Yeah.
the show. It's just completely by itself.
Good. Good. I
Yeah.
like that. I like that.
Mhm.
I know you got to get out of here soon, so I'm gonna move ahead.
Oh, no rush. Yeah.
I'm gonna move ahead to the Batman.
Okay. All right.
You've seen it, yes?
Yes. Yes.
Did you love it?
Oh, I loved it. So I've told people it's my favorite Batman.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because, okay, how can I explain it? The first ones, well, maybe the very first one with Michael Keaton was the nostalgia factor. I was like grade three, grade two when that came out.
Yeah.
So you're a kid, you just love the catchphrases like "Oh, I'm Batman," whatever, right? Um, the thing is, that whole version that came out back then was too like typical superhero movie, too bubblegum, I would say.
Yeah.
Then Christian Bale's version
Oh, you
was
just jumped
good.
over all the other ones, eh?
Wait, what was all the other ones? So there's
Val
that.
Kilmer,
Yeah,
George
but Val Kilmer,
Clooney,
I count that as all that
the
from the Batman
bubblegum cartoon,
1989, like Batman 1, Batman 2, Batman 3, Batman 4. Those are all,
Batman Forever, all of
yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that stuff, right? Those are all the same, right? That's all cartoony bubblegum stuff. The Christian Bale Batman it was good. I liked it. It was very real, right? But how can I say? It was still just okay. It was Batman getting his footing the first one. There was the story about the Joker was the second one or whatnot. It was good, but they don't capture. So this Batman, like, I'm skipping over Ben Affleck for now, but this one with what's his name?
Robert Pattinson.
Pattinson. This Batman. The thing is, in the comic books, Batman is known as the world's greatest detective, right?
Okay.
None of the other Batman movies really touched on that detective side of him. It's just that whole, oh, he's some emo superhero whose parents died and it made him crazy and dark and whatever.
Right.
This one really touched on the detective aspect of Batman that a lot of people don't realize or don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
Like Batman, for example, the comic book, they'll have an issue of just regular Batman, another issue of this or whatever. Then they have Batman like Detective Comics, right? Where
Right.
he does detective stuff. This version of Batman captured that perfectly. Yeah. Like he had to solve the case. He had to go around, whatever, collect evidence and all of that. That's a whole another side of Batman that's never been touched, I would say, in these movies.
Right.
So that's what I liked about it. Second thing I liked about it, he's in the second year of being Batman. You can tell he's in the second year of being Batman. This guy's jumping off of a roof and he's scared. Like before he jumps, he's like, yeah, right.
I hope this suit opens up.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's flying in the thing, and he's like not even like doing it clean. Like, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like when Christian Bale did it, I guess you can tell, but he's still a little too clean, and so to me, it didn't feel realistic. Whereas this guy, you can tell that okay, as he gets more experience, he'll get better at this stuff. But this is just the basic. Like this guy is scared of this. He's beating people up, but he's still getting punched like a lot, right? His car isn't the best. He doesn't have like all this crazy technology like how Christian Bale had, or like how whatever Michael Keaton and all them had, considering the times, like it was early '90s or whatnot. So I would say that's what I liked about this version, was just all that, and then you can tell that he can go from there. He can get into this crazy Ben Affleck Batman where he could take on aliens and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. But they could also go the route of just keeping it realistic, where he does get better, but it's not like totally out there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Are there because obviously it sounds like you read some Batman comics. Are there
not too much. I used to back in like when I was younger, but I kind of understand what's going on.
Are there other parts of Batman from the comics that they haven't portrayed in movies or shows that you would want to see, like this detective aspect? Or is this the last piece where you're like, I'm good? They've finally given us a well-rounded view of Batman over the whole universe, right? Like Keaton, all of that stuff. Like this was the last piece?
Yeah, I would say this is the last piece. But to me, it's still not my perfect Batman. My perfect Batman would be 70% the Robert Pattinson and maybe 30% the Ben Affleck. As weird as that sounds. Yeah.
So,
but not Ben Affleck for the actor, just that version of Batman that they're portraying in Justice League.
Right.
Or like what Batman versus Superman and all that. So that's what would be my perfect, because he's a wide range. Like dude fights street criminals, deals with mafias, deals with that type of ground level stuff. But at the same time, he's still rolling with like the the worldly heroes. Like he's still keeping up with like the Superman, the Green Lanterns, the Flashes out there, right?
Right.
He has no powers. He's just a very smart guy, very resourceful person. So I would say that would be the perfect mix.
So hold on. So the probably the most successful franchise of Batman, the Christian Bale Batman, you're
Hmm.
like, thanks. but
No, I liked it. It was
yes.
cool, but I don't
It's
know.
it's not lasting for you though.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
you're not you're like, yeah, okay, it was good. It was
Yeah,
nice.
it was good. It's just the thing I think that really crushed it was the fact that Heath Ledger died and they had to kind of rush that last part with the Joker in it.
Right.
I felt like if they could have the Joker come back for that third one instead of doing that whole thing with the Bane and he's semi-retired, whatever, I think that would have been like to have one more movie with Joker.
Yeah.
That would have been like killer for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I like the Christian Bale one; it's cool, but I don't see the world building from there.
Mm,
Like for me, with this Batman, if WB wanted to just erase everything they've done since and just built the world out of from that movie, I know that movie is still grounded in realism, but it doesn't have to be because it's grounded in realism because it's the second year of that Batman in Batman, so he's not
right.
going to be as smart, he's not going to be as tech savvy, he's not going to be as brave as say the Ben Affleck one would be.
Mm,
But but they could just because this was probably their highest grossing movie from that whole from like the when you compare it to like what Marvel's been doing, they should
mhm.
just scratch everything and just start from there.
Just start from here
Yeah,
with
yeah,
this
yeah,
new
with this
Batman.
Batman. Yeah, yeah.
Do you know how many movies they're making with him? I haven't looked it
I
up.
think it's going to be a trilogy.
Trilogy as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I heard. So it's going to be the second one's going. From what I hear, they might bring in like a Robin, which is like the first time that they're doing it properly. Like they had the Chris O'Donnell Robin from back in the day in the nipple suits, but
Yeah.
this has the prospect to do the story properly. Like even with the Christian Bale Batman, I don't like how they brought in what's that dude, um, the actor at the end who was the cop, and he's supposed to be like taking
Oh,
over.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, I don't like that because it veered too far away from the comics. I don't like when it veers too far.
That's the thing. That
Yeah,
that's the you comic book people are like, hey man, you guys wrote words. Somebody wrote words down. Why aren't you following these words?
yeah, they don't have to follow. That's the thing that makes Marvel a superior product. The problem with Warner Brothers is they have too many suits calling the shots, saying, "Hey, put this in the story instead. Add that in the story. It's going to sell toys. It's going to sell this." They don't realize that if you stick into the theme, you don't have to because Marvel doesn't follow the comics at all. Like WandaVision is nothing like what happened in the comics, but they can't because when the original comic came out, it's a different time, right? It was like
Right.
the 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever, right? Times have changed, but it's more in the spirit of the comics, right? And you don't have to deviate too far to because they're scared of alienating the non-comic nerd, right?
Yeah,
And they don't want to watch it. They don't understand that those stories could be told, right?
exactly.
You know what I mean? And anybody who's a novice, the most they're going to do is they're going to watch this, and if they know that it's a little bit like the comics, you're just going to boost their comic sales too.
Quite
So
possibly.
yeah,
I,
exactly. For
I,
those people that want to really like in like dig themselves like dig into it, right, and get all the facts behind stuff,
yeah.
right? Then yeah, like you're only going to sell more merchandise. That's how I look at it.
I'll say this for sure. Never in my life have I been more interested in looking at buying some comic books
Hmm.
than right now. And I don't
Yeah.
know if it's being around you guys who are sort of into it or like Israel Adesanya, like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
he's heavy
yeah. I'm
into
a huge
comic
fan.
books and
Heavy
some
into comics and anime and he'll
yes.
do like before fights he'll do like Naruto stuff,
Yes.
right? Like the hand seals and whatever. Yeah.
And just seeing him roll through some comic book stores and seeing some of the books, I'm like, yo, these things actually look pretty interesting, and the art is amazing too, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, the art's amazing.
So I'm thinking
it's all relative to the artist too, right?
Of course.
There are some artists that I'm not a big fan of their art, but there's others that are amazing.
Yeah. But probably one of the last things I want to ask you is, did you watch Gotham?
I watched the first 3 seasons or whatever with with Jada Pinkett.
when she was there. And then what? When she was out, you were done?
Oh no, I don't know. I watched it. I don't like how they make shows about the Batman universe. Just make a show with Batman then, right? Like, I hate that. They also had a show called Krypton that was like Superman's grandfather on planet Krypton. Who cares, guy?
Okay, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
If you're gonna do it, just do it. Go all in. Like, do a show with Batman then. Don't do this Gotham stuff where, okay, the final episode. I saw the final episode of it.
Yes.
Where it's, okay, this dude is Batman and whatever, right?
Yeah.
Cool, but don't. I hate prequels. I'm not a fan of prequels.
So the thing, it's interesting because the Batman, the movie that just came out, is kind of a prequel, right? Like, well, Batman in his second year, based on everything we've ever seen of Batman, right? You give us a Batman movie in his second year, that is a prequel, because we know what Batman can do. Yeah, that's true. It is, but it isn't, because in this world, it's the starting point. Sure.
Right? So we don't know, like, we can't say it's a prequel to Christian Bale Batman, because Christian Bale Batman was totally this way. You can't say it's a prequel to the Batman's late 80s, early 90s, because it went that way, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it. It's year 2 Batman or whatnot, but it's a starting point for a new story that they can tell. If they're focusing more on the detective aspect and all that of it, they hopefully, like, it will be the first time they tell the Robin story properly in the movies, right? If they touch that, we'll see what happens. But I think, to me, it's a starting point of something new.
What's the Robin?
Different ways.
What's the Robin story properly?
Well, it's the same one.
If it's long, you don't have to get into it.
No, it's the same one as, like, the Chris O'Donnell Batman, where, like, Robin was a kid. He his family died. Like, they were trapeze artists or whatever. Some stuff happened with the mafia. Mafia rigged their performance. Fathers died. His father, mother died. Whatever. His whole family died. Bruce Wayne was in the crowd. He saw that. He can relate to the kid because he lost his parents at an early age. He took the kid in, trained him, which is, these days, is probably wrong, right? He put him through some, like, vigorous training.
He groomed him. Some
vigorous, like, and then he became a superhero. That's the story. But then what people don't know is that there were 3 Robins. So then when he grew up, he kind of had a disagreement with the way Batman is doing things, because he's a little bit more lighthearted than Bruce Wayne. So he left. He did his own thing, became another hero called Nightwing. They brought in another Robin, who was really reckless. He ended up getting himself killed. Then they brought in another Robin that was more of a detective type person as well, and he trained them, and that became the Robin. Then he left. Actually, there's a 4th one. Then his son, he found out he had a baby mom, and he had a son, and then the son was trained to be an assassin from birth. And then Batman found out it was his son. He took him in as Robin.
So there's like 5 Robins?
There's like 4 or 5. Then there's a whole other story with a girl becoming Robin. Like, there's a whole bunch of them. Different ones. Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that. So the reason I bring up Gotham earlier, Gotham feels like the prequel to this Batman.
You think?
And the reason I say this is because Gotham, first of all, the first couple 3 seasons, not really that good a show. I didn't really enjoy it that much. That's what I thought. But and this is what, season 4 or 5? I think there's 5 seasons, maybe 6. Regardless, by the end of the series, I'm like sitting down in front of my TV to watch it. Like, I'm giving it all of my attention because I really enjoyed it. I really thought it was, And the thing is, it starts out and Batman, or Bruce Wayne, I guess, is like
Yeah.
13 or something,
Yeah,
right?
he's a
Like
kid,
he's a
yeah.
child, and
Yeah.
Alfred's a badass, all sorts of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then by the time the series is over, he's like 17, 18 years old. Like he's about to become Batman. And he's a moody, emo kid, just like Robert Pattinson's Batman is.
Yeah. That's
right?
True.
And it for me, like I haven't watched Gotham in a while, but for me, it feels like Gotham is like required viewing before the Batman, just to kind of get you in the mood for
that's true.
This unseasoned Batman that is afraid to jump off buildings and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But I think they definitely captured it properly with him being emo, because at the beginning he is emo, and then that's later on, that's when he realizes, hey, I gotta act totally different, total opposite of who I am at night, to kind of maintain, the separation, right?
Mm-hmm.
People start suspecting.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why I think, again, this one perfect.
Yeah,
because Bruce Wayne wasn't always, or I think it's more realistic to make it that Bruce Wayne's not always this millionaire, philanthropist, playboy dude, right?
Right.
He was, at one point, he was not all there.
Yeah. It's also interesting that you say that, because I think this definitely gives room for Robert Pattinson's character to be more Robert Pattinson as Batman.
Yeah,
right?
That's
like
true.
In the second or third one, he can be full, like suave. All the ladies, like he's messing with Catwoman right now.
Mm-hmm.
But in the coming movies, he can get that full kind of Batman experience that we get, where there's always James Bond, like
exactly, and that could be a whole build up to like the third movie. At the end, he becomes more suave or whatnot.
Because sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I would definitely like to see Zoe Kravitz back in the sequels. I think she was awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
Amazing. Yeah,
I agree. This leads me right into some other thing I'd written down.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel, because whenever you're Batman, you're playing two characters.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing Batman and you're playing Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like every actor we've had can do both of those things? Right? Like, I don't know that every actor is as good at being Bruce Wayne as they are at being Batman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But with me, I'll always hold the standard up to Michael Keaton.
You think he was the best at being both of them?
Yeah. Like his face suited, right?
Yeah.
I didn't like Christian Bale as Batman. I don't like the whole voice.
Yeah, it feels like you were burned. You were burned by the Christian Bale Batman early, and you never gave him a chance. You were like, it was over.
I don't know, but I don't know. I don't even think he was the best Bruce Wayne either.
Right.
Ben Affleck, I thought he was too big. Like, I think he buffed up way too much.
Right. But he buffed up to play Batman. He wasn't thinking about Bruce Wayne.
No, exactly. He
was a big ass Batman.
Yeah. But I feel like his face was, I don't know, it didn't look proper.
Right.
The whole, you have to have like that rigid jawline or whatnot.
Were you excited for Robert Pattinson being Batman when you first heard about
it? No, but I wasn't outraged. The problem is people keep thinking Twilight, teeny bopper vampire movie, but that happened like 15 years ago. I don't know how long ago that was, right? Of course, he's older now, so I wasn't outraged. I thought it was peculiar, but at the same time, they're like, oh, we're going with the younger Batman here too. Okay, it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think part of it too, where people were wondering about him playing one of those two roles. Like, what is he going to be like as Batman? Like, probably too skinny. That vampire stuff was still in people's heads. So it's I think people were less worried about him being Bruce Wayne than him being Batman.
But I think he did both well.
I think so too.
Especially the version of Bruce Wayne that he brought, that kind of obsessive emo dude. Like, and Alfred, what's that actor's name? That's one of my favorite actors. He's in everything, man. He's the same guy that played Schmeagol in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. I can't remember his name. I know who you're talking
Such a
about.
good. Then in Black Panther, he was Claw. He was Claw in Black Panther. Have you seen Black Panther?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Claw in Black Panther. Then he was in something else as well. Like, just his acting is amazing.
Yeah, he's strong.
But
I appreciate your time.
No worries. Appreciate yours too. Yeah, have me back. I'll be less busy.
Okay, we'll sort it out. And thank you so much for joining us on It's in the Details. Please do remember, hit the subscribe, hit the likes, comments, shares, do all the things. We'll see y'all in a week. Take care. Peace.